Today we are reacting to fan creativity versus creative boundaries, the Gachiakuta OC controversy by Just Jinxie. Let's check this out. Oh, let me know if I'm pronouncing the series correctly. I've been saying Gachiakuta. I'm not sure that's the right way to pronounce it, but that's how I've been pronouncing it. And I figured I'll want to know more about what's going on with the author of the series and what's all this hate or pushback that she's been getting lately. I really, I've been seeing it a lot, but I don't truly know what's going on. So let's find out.
There has been a lot of controversy in the Gachiakuta fan space in the past 24 hours, most of which...
Is it Gachiakuta or Gachiakuta? At least say Gachiakuta. Let me know if it's either Gachiakuta or Gachiakuta.
There has been a lot of controversy in the Gachiakuta fan space in the...
Okay, she said Gachiakuta. So let me know in the comments below, is it Gachiakuta or Gachiakuta? Because I've been saying Gachiakuta. I think I'm going to start saying Gachiakuta for now on. Just to see if that's the correct pronunciation.
Past 24 hours, most of which I would call unwarranted backlash toward a mangaka creating boundaries. But I'm going to give you the full context and tell me what you think. So let me catch you up. Gachiakuta is a very popular ongoing action shonen manga and anime series. The mangaka Kei Arana has made her stance on OCs known very vocally over the past couple of months. But as of February 19th, they had a tweet that had gone pretty viral. As of right now, there is almost 3 million views. And this tweet is in regards to using the manga cover design as a template for your OCs. So a bit of context is that an OC is an original character, a fan design and created character for an existing piece of media, in this case, Gachiakuta. OCs have been a staple to fandom culture and community for literally centuries. The term OC, or original character, can go back to the late 90s on websites like DeviantArt. However, it goes back even further, from the Star Trek zines of the 60s to even Renaissance storytelling. As far as we can go back, we've always imagined ourselves in other properties. So an OC and OC art isn't exactly new, but that's not exactly the issue. Kei Arana tweeted, "I've previously asked people not to turn the cover design into a template, yet some are still doing it." Comments like, "Gachiakuta is only popular because of Gachiakuta OCs," or "Are you denying our creativity or missing the point? Please understand the boundaries between fan work and the official material." They also had a tweet saying, "Stop doing things that diminish the value of the design, especially if you're using it for your OC, and don't use the official hashtags for your OC." The other day, I saw someone making the delusional claim that Arana liked my OC. I've kept quiet until now, but let me make this clear. I do not approve of OCs. Keep that sort of thing to yourself. I've seen people say things like, "I'll give you my idea, but I decline. I appreciate your love for Gachiakuta, but it's time to establish some order. Thank you for your support." As well as tweeting, "Gachiakuta's cover design is not a free template. Please do not use official hashtags for OCs." She even retweeted a post from fellow mangaka Yuto Sano, who does the series Gokurakugai, that stated, "I'm very happy to have fan art drawn for me, but the title logo of the work, author's signature, and author's seal, please don't just copy and paste these three. It could be mistaken for official drawings." Overall, I think that asking fans to not use the official hashtag, like hashtag Gachiakuta, is not a difficult ask.
Okay, so from what I'm understanding is that fans have been drawing their OCs and using official tags, making it seem like, oh, this is the creator's artwork or something, where it can be misconstrued that, oh, this is something that the author created or drawn, and this could be also, canon or whatever, but it isn't. It's just fan work, and it could be confusing to other people that aren't versed in, let's say it's Gachiakuta, I think, or Gachiakuta, depending on the pronunciation. Yeah, it could be kind of confusing to most people that aren't new to it, you know, new to the series and stuff.
But I do think it could be impossible.
If that makes sense, if that's the gist of it all. Let me move myself over here. Okay. The reason I say impossible is because it requires all fans to be chronically online and know to not use the series name as a hashtag for their OC, which is kind of intuitive. Yeah, I think those are like probably all the most chronically online people, and they shouldn't probably be using the series name as a hashtag for their OC. Because again, it can be confusing to people that are new to the series, and they might think that, oh, that's real, you know, that comes from the actual creator as part of the series, that's canon, which is not.
From like a broader scale. When most fans make fan art or OCs, they want to share it with the community. They want to push it to that community, and they get the sort of validation in a way. And they do it by hashtagging the name of the series, Gachiakuta, because a hashtag is how you would funnel it to that community, which is very common in fandom spaces, from fan fiction to fan art to even fan commentary. The name of your series is usually hashtagged. And that's just how fandom works. But I understand the want to kind of separate that. I think this is a pretty loaded topic, which is why it's sparking so much controversy and conversation. One is that I think people don't like being told what to do, honestly. I have seen a lot of horrendous responses from fans to Kei Arana for calling her unappreciative or calling her every name but her name, because they're so angry at the idea of being told, no, don't do that. And if you
But that's her wishes still. You can't disrespect that lady, or whatever her pronouns are. I don't want to misgender anyone. You can't disrespect her, you know, her wishes. That's, if she said she doesn't want you to do that, then do it. Be respectful. Not you know, you feeling some type of way, that's crossing the line. That's crossing, you know, boundaries now. Now, you know, she has every right to do so. It's her work. It's not your work. You're just how should I put this? Like, you're creating OCs for a series that you didn't come up with, but, you know, even though you're creating characters of a series, you know, but again, it's not your series, it's not your work, so give that lead some respect, you know.
do that, I don't want to see it. And I think it's easy for artists to feel attacked or singled out because of how she is stating her boundary. But the creation of the boundary is not wrong. And I think the reason that so many people are upset is because fan art and OCs are created out of love, out of genuine love for the fandom. They want their OC to be a part of the world. They like the world so much they want to be a part of it. And they want it to be almost seamless. So we get character sheets and character bios and fake manga covers and screenshots with subtitles that make it look like they're truly a part of the world. We get fan fiction and fan art, shipping art. It's all a labor of love. And the fan art is really good and beautiful and at a glance can look official. Gachiakuta has gone so viral so many times, and it's reached a really broad audience, giving us things such as the vital instrument trend, where people on TikTok show their like prized possession and what they would use and how they would use their vital instrument if they were in the series. And that in itself has also sparked more OC fan art. It's very charming. It's a very fun trend. And I think an indicator of really good writing is creating a foundation so sturdy that people can build on it and create OCs that work with the logic of the world. It allows fans the space to create theories about the actual plotline, or to write fan fiction, or to really speculate on the subtleties of the show. It's inspiring. And the fact that Kei Arana was able to do that is amazing. There are so many mangas in the world, and so many of them that don't make it to serialization. The fact that Gachiakuta was able to be serialized, turned into an anime, get greenlit for a season 2, even get a stage play, these are all incredible feats. And it is a cultural phenomenon, and it is really hurtful to see just because people are getting their feelings hurt about their OC, they want to try to belittle those incredible feats. However, with modern art and technology, and unfortunately even things such as generative AI, it is getting more and more difficult to differentiate official art and fan-made art. I understand a mangaka wanting to set a boundary to be protective of their IP, to the point of frustration because she has vocalized this time and time again.
Who wouldn't want to be protective of their IP? It's our baby. It's our work. It's our life's work. So, I don't blame her because, again, it's her baby. It's her life's work. It's something she put her blood, sweat, and tears into. And for, people to try to diminish it or try to, cross the line, cross boundaries, or she has every right to feel any type of way she wants to. Nobody should tell her how to feel because it's her life's work. You should respect that.
The immediate response to her setting a boundary is pushback and backlash from fans, belittling her work and saying that it's only popular because of OCs is absolutely
crazy. That's something crazy. That just sounds insane to say to a person, especially to a person who came up with the ideas. Again, blood, sweat, tears, day in, day out, probably long nights, creating the stories, creating the atmosphere of the series, everything, just for fans to just draw that into our face is crazy. That's like what? That's just asinine, Like, why would you say that to a person? Trying to say, oh, you're only popular because of us, because we created our own original characters and stuff. I don't think that's true. I don't believe that is true at all. I think really, if I could say, I think partially, partially the reason why her series is popular is because, again, if I'm not mistaken, she was either a mentee of the creator of Fire Force and Soul Eater, or B, which I guess you could say B is also A, but work under, mentee work under, I guess that's A and B, but also see inspiration from the author of Fire Force and Soul Eater. So her style is kind of similar to that. So people probably were gravitating, oh, this style kind of reminds me of Soul Eater and Fire Force. Again, that's partially the reason why it's popular, but it's probably more than that. From what I could tell by the anime, it's really so far by just episode 1. I enjoyed it. I will be doing an episode 2 reaction in the future because I want to continue the story. I want to continue what happens to the main character, but besides that, it's just like, again, just injurious to what people are doing to the author. Like, have some respect, have some decorum,
absolutely insane because it undermines her work as a mangaka.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. It undermines. You're trying to like downplay her and draw into her face that she's not successful.
Very less because it undermines her work as a mangaka. In some very less extreme ways, reminds me a little bit of the Anne Rice situation. Anne Rice is the author of Interview with a Vampire, and in the early 90s, she banned all fan-made work based off of her IPs, so no fan fictions. Fanfiction websites such as fanfiction.net was hit with a cease and desist. They were told that they could not host any fan-made work on their website of her IPs. On her website, she stated fan fiction was not allowed, and she owns the copyright. So people were living in fear that they would be sued. Her reasons being that she was protective of her characters, and she didn't want to damage the characters with fan-made work. And this,
I'll say this. I understand why that she did that. I can't blame her. In one way, I can't blame her. I can't blame her because some people may write or draw your characters in a way that you didn't intentionally want them to be, you know, or however the case may be. So I can't blame Anne Rice or, you know, the author of Gachiakuta. I I can't blame them. I mean, it's their life's work. They have every right to do whatever, however they feel, you know. So I can't blame them. I mean, I understand the reasonings behind wanting to protect their work, you know. You don't want it to get in the wrong hands of the wrong people. Which is kind of why I could see Disney keeping Mickey Mouse on hold, because if because if there ever came a day where people could use Mickey Mouse in a certain way, I would assume all hell would break loose in a sense. But yeah.
Went on for like 20 years. By the time Anne Rice kind of opened up to the idea of fan fiction, the damage had been done. So if you did write fan fiction for her IPs, you did it discreetly. Very, very hidden. You had to really look for it. And because of Anne Rice and their cease and desist and their copyright threats, the reason that many fan fictions will have "I do not own" or
I mean, I wouldn't say you go as far as like the cease and distress, you know. I wouldn't think you would go that far, but I mean, I would, you know, try to like have like a clear boundary about it.
copyright reserved too, these disclaimers at the beginning of them, are so they don't get sued because of the fear that Anne Rice had struck in the hearts of fanfiction writers in the 90s. And the Gachiakuta case is nowhere near as extreme. Kei Arana's boundaries are doable. Don't use the Gachiakuta.
Hers are more doable. I mean, she's not sending cease and desist letters out, so I mean, that's a good thing.
Gachiakuta hashtag. So many artists have switched to Gachiakuta OC or Gachi OC to share their OCs. And I think the whole conversation can really boil down to the fact that in our current modern day internet space, there are no fandom spaces anymore. Like back in the day, if you wanted to share your fan art or your OCs, you posted them on DeviantArt or you posted them on Tumblr, where you didn't have direct access to the creator, the IP, the mangaka. You were very separated in a fandom space. So if a mangaka or artist were to see your work of their fan art, they found it because they were looking. Like they were in a fandom space. And once upon a time, Twitter was considered a fandom space. But because Twitter was a good art platform, it makes sense that a lot of mangaka are based on Twitter, and why a lot of artists have a huge following on Twitter. So when they're sharing their fan art, it's on the same feed as like the mangaka, and it's just one shared space. I feel very passionately about the lack of fandom spaces because everyone is everywhere together all the time, and I think we lose a lot of the fan culture. I guess another example would be how like authors should not be in author review spaces because it's not for you. It is for the community, the fan community, and not directly for you. At the end of the day, I think that the fan art artists can feel how they feel. They can feel conflicted, they can feel complicated and hurt by the overall ordeal, but also they can do it in a way where they're still respecting the mangaka's wishes. It is not a difficult ask to not use the logo and to not use the Gachiakuta hashtag. But what do you think?
That was Just Jinxie, Fan Creativity versus Creative Boundaries, the Gachiakuta OC controversy. Let me know what you think about this topic. Let me know what you think about, about Kei Arana, about Gachiakuta, about should creators have boundaries? Should they set boundaries with their fans? Let me know what you think about this. Let's have a conversation in the comments below. Until then, I'll see you next time.